Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The moment I heard her laugh, my stomach twisted into a knot. It wasn't the warm, carefree laugh I'd fallen in love with. It was sharper, almost performative, like she was trying to impress someone. When I turned toward the sound, my heart froze. Maya was standing near the bar, holding a glass of champagne, surrounded by her co-workers. Her hand brushed against the man beside her, their marketing director, Daniel. His body leaned close, their shoulders nearly touching. Then she said it, with a casual grin that sliced straight through me. "Oh, that's my roommate, Ryan." Roommate. The word echoed in my head like a gunshot muffled by disbelief. I stood there in my best suit, holding the gift bottle of wine I'd brought for her company's celebration, and for a second, I thought maybe I'd misheard. But then I saw Daniel's smug little smile, the one men wear when they think they've won something. My hand clenched around the bottle's neck until I felt the glass strain beneath my grip. Roommate. We'd been married for 3 years. I paid half the mortgage on the apartment we called ours. Yet here, at her workplace party, under soft golden lights and easy laughter, I had been reduced to a footnote in her social life. When her eyes finally met mine across the room, I saw panic flicker for just an instant before she smiled, too brightly, and waved me over. "Ryan," she chirped, her voice sugar-sweet, as if nothing had happened. I walked toward her, every step echoing in my chest. The music, the chatter, the clinking glasses, all of it faded into a low hum. I could feel my pulse in my throat. "Everyone, this is my roommate," she repeated with a laugh, like it was some harmless inside joke. I looked at her. Calm. Controlled. My voice, when it came, was steady, but it carried the quiet sharpness of something breaking. "Actually," I said, setting the wine on the counter, "I'm her husband." The air thickened. Someone coughed. Daniel's smirk faltered. Maya's color drained so quickly it was almost mesmerizing. "Oh," she stammered. "I was just joking, you know." "Yeah," I interrupted softly. "It's funny, really, because I didn't know our marriage was a punchline." Her coworkers shifted awkwardly, pretending to look elsewhere. The silence pressed down hard, like gravity had doubled. I didn't stay long after that. I just handed the bottle to Daniel, nodded politely, and left. But the echo of that word, roommate, followed me into the cold night air. When I got home, I sat on the couch, staring at our wedding photo. Her smile in that picture looked real. The way her head leaned on my shoulder, her eyes squinting from sunlight, it all felt so far from the woman who just introduced me like a stranger. My mind replayed every little change I'd ignored. The sudden late nights, her new perfume, the way she guarded her phone. I had told myself it was stress, ambition, anything but what my gut whispered in the quiet hours. When she came home an hour later, she didn't turn on the lights. "Ryan," she said quietly, "please, can we talk?" I didn't answer right away. I wanted to hear how she'd spin it. She walked closer, heels clicking softly on the floor. "You embarrassed me tonight." I laughed once, short and sharp. "You embarrassed yourself, Maya. You lied in front of everyone. And for what? To seem single." She flinched. "It's not like that. You don't understand the politics there. Daniel, he's been." "Daniel," I repeated, the name tasting bitter. "Your marketing director. The one who touches your arm like he owns it." Her silence said enough. "Maya," I whispered, "how long?" Tears welled up, but she didn't answer. The pause stretched, heavy and suffocating. 3 months, she finally said, voice trembling. It wasn't supposed to happen. It just did. I stared at her, the weight of those words pressing into me until I could barely breathe. 3 months. So, while I was making her coffee every morning, she was texting him goodnight. While I was planning our anniversary, she was making excuses to stay late at work. "I thought you loved me," I said quietly. "I do," she cried. I got lost. He made me feel important." I cut in. "Special? Like you mattered." Her face crumpled, and I hated how familiar her pain looked, because it was real. That was the cruelest part. Betrayal wasn't always cold or deliberate. Sometimes it came dressed as confusion, tangled in longing and fear. I stood and walked to the window, watching the city lights flicker like distant stars. I wanted to scream, to smash something, to make her hurt the way I did. But instead, I said the only thing that felt right. "You called me your roommate," I said softly. "Maybe that's what we've become. Two people living under the same roof, pretending not to notice the cracks." She sobbed quietly behind me. "I'll move out tomorrow," I said, still facing the glass. "You can tell Daniel whatever story you want. But tonight, I'm done being invisible." I left her standing there, the faint sound of her crying mixing with the city noise outside. A week later, she showed up at my new place. Her eyes were swollen, her voice small. "I ended things with him," she said. "I told him it was over. I miss you, Ryan. Please, can we start again?" For a moment, I almost wanted to believe her. Old habits die hard, and love, no matter how bruised, always tries to crawl back to its comfort zone. But then I remembered that word. Roommate. And the way Daniel's hand brushed hers. The way she laughed. The way my heart broke. I took a slow breath. "Maya," I said, "I hope you find whatever it is you were searching for. But it's not me anymore." Her tears fell, but I didn't move to wipe them. She looked smaller somehow, fragile in a way I'd never seen. When she finally left, the silence that followed wasn't empty, it was peaceful. And for the first time in months, I realized I didn't need to be anyone's secret, anyone's afterthought, anyone's roommate. I poured myself a drink, looked out the window, and let the city lights wash over me like a quiet promise. I was free.